Hello, welcome to another video here. And what I am going to do is play for you a video that I produced for a friend of mine who works at Broadcasters General Store. Let me get this out of the way. This is not sponsored. I'm going to be talking about a product and about a company, and they're not paying me for this. They have no editorial control over this. This is totally on my own because I am a fan. Yeah, I'm fanboying it a little bit. So sue me. But anyways, so this is a video. A friend of mine asked me to make it to show how we use it, how we use this product, and I figured, why not? There are some of you who have Axia radio stations, so you might benefit from seeing how I use it as well. So anyways, I'm going to roll this video and enjoy. See you on the other side. Hi, I'm Marcos O'Rourke. I'm the Chief Engineer of K-Wave Radio and KSTW in Southern California. And we have a couple of stations, an internet station, and we use Pathfinder Core quite a bit. So let me take you real quick through what we do. There's three things that we mainly use Pathfinder Core for, and that's logic flows, routers, and user panels. So let's take a look real quick at logic flows. So with logic flows, what we use, it's kind of a couple of ways, three different ways actually. So the first one is emergency alert system. So our EAS box normally sits outside of the air chain. And when it wants to go on the air, on the back there's a relay, and that will tell Pathfinder, hey, I want to be on the air. So what'll happen is it'll run through a logic flow, and it will take whatever source it was routed to my internet stream processor, my Arbitron encoders, Nielsen encoders, whatever other sources I have it set to, and it takes that EAS source and routes all of those different places at once. So let's look at my logic flow real quick. As soon as that pin goes low, then it will tell this logic flow, okay, the EAS audio source needs to go to all these different destinations. And then when that EAS pin goes high, when it's done putting itself on the air, then it will go back to the previous source that it had. So that's what we do for both of our stations that we have that are on the air, for KWVE and for KSTW. Now, another thing that we do is in the mornings, we have a live show where pastors will call in via Skype. A specific pastor will call in via Skype, and they will have a conversation with our on-air talent at that time. Part of it is on the air, and then part of it is on the internet, and we will do a video stream of that as well. So, in order to reduce the amount of things that the morning person has to set up, so we have it automatically route from our Studio A Program 2 bus straight into our video encoder. And that way, the person who comes in to run the video side of things doesn't have to worry about it, they don't have to think about it, it just happens. And then afterwards, it will reset and go back to whatever it was normally looking at for that video encoder. So we have our morning prep, and then we have our morning reset. We have a couple of other live shows where we have Monday through Friday, and we basically treat it like a satellite show, even though that we are generating the show. We're originating the show. We will treat it as a satellite show on a couple of our stations. So what'll happen is it will load a certain profile at a certain time, and then at that certain time it will turn on a certain pot and put it on the air. And that works out really, really well. And we've had probably maybe one or two times where it didn't work right, and that was this problem right here. Yep. But it has basically worked properly for us without me getting in the way and tinkering with it. Another thing that we do is for silence alarms, we will have a logic flow for setting off certain annunciators, alarms, lights, emails, things like that that help us to notify our person who's in the studio that they're silent or that our other station is silent. And then it will also let us know, the engineering staff, know that a station is off the air. We also have a logic flow for a two-way radio system. We have a two-way radio system for our engineering and coordination use. And through the Axia intercom panel, when you press a button, it will route that intercom panel's mic to the radio and do the push-to-talk relay and all that fun stuff. So we also do that, and we have a few logic flows for that. For when somebody keys up outside, it will unmute the intercom panel so that way you can hear what's going on. So the next thing we use are the routers. And with routers, we make it easy for myself, my coworker, the other engineer, or even somebody that we can walk through to be able to make emergency path changes. And we're not giving them access to everything. We're giving them very specific access. So we've made virtual routers for many of our two stations. But what will happen is they can select a destination, and then they can make a change to that route. And then, well, for example, I will take this route here to our backup satellite uplink, change the route, and now I can see all of the different sources that I've made available to this virtual router. So I'm not giving them everything. I'm not giving them the microphone in the production room. I'm just giving them our Program 1 sources for the different Air studios. I'm giving them the automation, the individual automation channels. So if we just need to route that for a few moments. So I can just take, for example, this source, Automation 3, and now I've just routed that automation output straight to our backup satellite uplink destination. Pretty simple, and that's the second thing that we use with Pathfinder Core are the routers. Now the third thing we use are user panels. User panels are pretty cool, and as you can see, I've got a few in here, and that's years of playing with user panels. And the only user panel that I'm actually kind of proud of a little bit is this one here, and I'm calling my large meter panel. It shows me all of the important audio sources that we need to pay attention to and that we should monitor. For example, I have my studio program levels here. I have my FM receiver at Santa Ana, the one at Santiago Peak, the one at Prado, which is our booster. And then for our second station, KSCW, again, our Program 1 audio feed coming out of the studio here, the receiver at Palomar, the receiver at Woodson, all of our EAS sources, so I can see that we have EAS audio. And then I'm also looking at my downlink, satellite downlink audios as well. So that is what I have so far, user panels. I did make some other user panels in the past where I can reset the hallway light. Sometimes the reset was too quick for the logic flow to catch up, and so I can manually fire off that reset light. So we have that red light in the hallway that goes off. So I can manually reset that, and then I have a test panel we have a multicolored light enunciator in the main studio for the person who's there 24 hours a day. So that way we can test that the lights work. So those are my user panels, and that is how we use Pathfinder Core. I honestly could not do what we do without it. It has saved me so much time, so much effort, and this is an essential tool that we have for us. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. So that was the video. Not that exciting, I know. Kind of a little bit of a sales pitch-ish. But honestly, Pathfinder really is a tool that I could not do without. It has saved me so much time, so much effort. Everything I just said in that video was honest, is true. And I mean, it really, really has been helpful. And so there have been times where we had to take a studio offline for whatever reason. And instead of going through and going to each individual web page for the Axia thing and routing this and putting in the channel ID or search, I go into Pathfinder, I go to that router, I click that destination, and I just say, okay, I need to go from the automation, or I need to go from, a different studio, and feed that over the air. And boom, it worked. It did it. There were a couple of times in the past where we had to simulcast some long programming over all of our stations. And without Pathfinder, it would have been laborious. It would have been messy on the air. But all we had to do was back time to a specific time. I fire it off in Pathfinder. Boom, we're simulcasting. And then when we were done, again, the same thing. We ran it to a certain time. When that time hit, boom, I fired off Pathfinder, and now everybody went back to where they needed to. Yeah, it's a great tool. If you have a station, if you're using Axia, I honestly would say that it is worth the cost that it is. They've just now come out with a virtual machine version. As you know, I'm getting into virtual machines now, but we have 2 appliance devices, so I think we're good there. But it is a great product. It is a great device. So if you are running a station that has Axia, I would strongly recommend it. All right. Well, and if you want to know more about Pathfinder and what it is more than what I've been talking about here, because it does so much more as well, I'm going to put a link in the description to Telos Alliance's page on that. This is not a sponsored video. I am not being paid for this video. So I'm just a fan of their products and of this product specifically. So let's just be very clear about that. All right. Anyways, I've talked your ear off enough. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys in the future. Next week? Sure, why not? Happy New Year? Yeah, all right. Bye.